Now at 10, 2 people are hurt after gunfire erupts in the lobby of a Malden apartment building. One of those victims, a 33-year-old woman who suffered critical wounds, is fighting for her life at a nearby hospital tonight. Now, this is the same apartment complex where a patrol rifle was stolen from a marked state police cruiser back in March. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Ken McLeod. WBZ's Paul Burton spent the day in Malden and spoke to some neighbors who say they're fed up with the violence.
6 shots, probably.
Larry Zapita says he heard several gunshots ring out early Sunday morning that sent folks screaming and yelling for cover at this apartment complex in Malden.
I heard screaming.
I got 2 kids. We don't even know. People walking around with guns, I guess. And it's...
Middlesex District Attorney's Office says a 33-year-old woman was shot in an apartment complex on Overlook Ridge Drive in Malden. The incident happened just after 2 a.m. in the lobby after a group of people got into an argument. Cell phone video shared with WBZ shows the moment emergency personnel could be seen administering CPR on the woman. She was taken to a nearby hospital with life-threatening injuries.
Black female laying down on the ground, unconscious. Officer giving him CPR.
It's sad, and prayers go out to her family, and just praying that everybody can get through this, as a community.
Investigators say another man was also injured, but it is expected to be okay. They spent much of the afternoon speaking with neighbors and looking for answers. Police say it appears one of the men was targeted, and on this Father's Day weekend, many residents are fearful this violence may not stop.
I can't necessarily that I'm surprised. Unfortunately, I feel like the area has kind of gone downhill a little bit. I'm sorry to say, we pay a lot of money in rent.
It was pretty bad because it's like it's supposed to be a nice community, but it's just getting out of control.
Residents obviously very upset and shaken over this. Police are still investigating. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. In Malden, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
An MIT student was hurt after falling out of a 3rd-floor window in Cambridge. It happened this morning at a building that appears to be a fraternity house. Cambridge police say the student was conscious and was talking to first responders before being taken to the hospital. Police say the incident does not appear to be suspicious. A 50-year-old man from Maine has been charged with operating under the influence for a multi-car accident in New Hampshire that left several people hurt. State police say it happened just after 9 last night on Interstate 95 in Northampton. Troopers say 4 vehicles were involved, and troopers had to shut down the highway. They say Douglas McKay was driving north when he lost control and veered across the median into the southbound lanes. 3 people went to the hospital, 2 of them with serious injuries, but they are expected to survive. Douglas McKay faces several charges, including DUI and vehicular assault. A hovercraft that became beached in Hampton, New Hampshire is now back at sea. The retired Canadian Coast Guard vessel was on its way from Cape Cod to Nova Scotia on Saturday when it suffered damage to its rubber skirt. The craft couldn't continue, and the decision was made to land on Hampton Beach. Residents flocked to the beach to check out the unusual, unannounced visitor. It was repaired overnight and continued on its journey this morning. Nobody was hurt. Happening tomorrow, Juneteenth. It marks the day enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, were finally notified the Civil War was over and they were free. Back in 2021, President Biden signed a bill to recognize the date as a federal holiday. It became the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established in 1983. Now, tomorrow marks the 3rd time Juneteenth will be observed nationwide. And since it's now a federal holiday, non-essential federal offices, banks, and most schools will be closed. The United States Postal Service will not deliver mail tomorrow. Wall Street will be shuttered on Monday as well, and many private sector employees have the day off to observe the holiday. This weekend brought the 23rd annual Hampton Beach Sand Sculpting Classic to the New Hampshire shoreline. A dozen artists were competing to craft the Best Sand Sculpture. Carl Jara from Lyndhurst, Ohio took home the bronze for his work titled Obsolete. Check that out. Canadian artist Abe Waterman came in second for his sculpture. It's called Dave is Here. And returning champ Melanesh Beauregard took first place for her piece entitled Love is a Universal Temple. She also won the People's Choice Award. The sand sculptures will remain on display through June 25th. Well, you're looking at the newest residents at the Franklin Park Zoo. The zoo just welcomed 2 gray kangaroos named Augie and Opal. They'll join red kangaroos, wallabies, and emus as part of the zoo's Back Trail. The team at Brigham and Women's Hospital spent the last couple of days getting some of their youngest patients ready for their first Father's Day. They shared these photos of babies in the NICU, all dressed up for the holiday. The theme for their photo shoot was Love You to the Moon and Back. So the babies wore astronaut helmets and took pictures with planets and spaceships, as you can see, all for Dad, of course. Let's get a check on that forecast now with meteorologist Sarah Robleski.
Not a bad Father's